Yo, what's up everyone? It's me again, back with another Path of Excel video. And in this video, I wanted to just quickly talk about League Start Atlas trees in SSF. This is something that I think is actually pretty important because in SSF, if you break your Atlas tree, it could pretty dramatically hinder your progress and maybe even break your character entirely. As you cannot buy gear if you fall behind, and you cannot buy maps, and you cannot buy unmaking. So it's very important to get it right the first time. And over the last couple of leagues, I've been continually improving my Atlas tree strategies. And so in this video, I want to share with you guys what I consider to be like the top 2 Atlas tree strats that you could do in SSF at League Start today in PoE 3.26. So let's get right into it. So before we get started, the main 2 strategies that I think you do at League Start in SSF are number 1, what you see here, which is basically just an Atlas map pushing strat. And then number 2 is like this one, which is like a betrayal start. And you are able to do both of these. And the reason is because at 50 points, you get a new tree. So you can basically start with like a betrayal strat and then go into the mapping strat, or you could just start the mapping strat just right off the bat. And it basically boils down to character power. For example, if you have like a really broken meta build, like Volcanic Fissure of Snaking, something that's completely overpowered, maybe you can skip Betrayal completely and just go for the mapping strat and then go straight to red maps. But if your build is like a little bit low damage, like maybe Regis Fire or Bone Shatter, a build where getting good unveils early on would make a big difference, then I think you should start this betrayal strat and then at 50 objectives, build a new tree for your main pushing. So that's like a high level overview of the 2 options, like betrayal start and then map pushing start. And now I guess we can just go into these 2 trees themselves and what they are all about. So the main strat is just going to be this one, the map pushing strat. And it's pretty straightforward from what I've seen. You'll see a lot of like 2 stone runs going for a very similar tree. And the main idea is you want to optimize your Atlas progression by taking every single map drop node, every single Kirak node, every single shrine node for power, and then also packed with energy for, I guess, more power. And the total numbers in this is your maps have an 85% chance to drop 1 tier higher, which is the maximum that you could get. And then you also have, with regard to Kirak, you have 26% chance to get a Kirak mission on completing a map. So that's going to really help you with your Atlas progression as well. And then you also have 100% chance to have Nico in your maps. And then when you click on the stones, you get packed with energy, which will give you damage and movement speed and max res. And then shrines is pretty self-explanatory. You get 1 shrine with chance to get more, and then your shrines have a lot of effect, and every shrine you click gives you 2 shrine effects. So yeah, the combination of Nico packed with energy and shrines basically gives you a lot of power, and then you get a lot of maps and a lot of Kirak missions, and that's basically the main strat. And then after you complete all of those core things, you can then go ahead and just take Quant for more map sustain, and then Rarity and Quant in the center as well. And then finally, you can just go over here and take Searing Exarch, which will allow you to sustain bubblegum currency like Chaos Orbs and such. And once you have this strat, you can basically just comfortably chill in red maps, and you just do whatever you want. And at some point, you can just once you get like 2 void stones or something, you can maybe take off some of the Kirak things and then maybe just go for whatever you want to farm. For example, Righteous Fire would want to farm Expedition, but maybe your build would want Harvest or Ritual for a certain base or whatever. Basically, once you have this, you can pivot into anything you want, and that's the main idea of this tree. And then I guess one cool thing to note as well is that when you path through this center wheel, you want to go to the right here. And this is because there's a node called Overloaded Circuits, which is whenever you pick like a map craft, for example, like domination, it'll also give you 3 random Atlas passive skills in that map. And normally you would never use this, but shaping the mountains allows you to get a random map crafting option for free sometimes. So like you can combo shaping the mountains free map craft with overloaded circuits, and you can get like a little bit of random power for no reason. So that's pretty cool. And it sounds like one fun thing that you can do. And it's like especially useful for things like Blight, where maybe you can like get a really nice Blight map just randomly because of that. And then speaking of Blight, another thing to note is that this node here, expect the unexpected, wait, there's one, oh yeah, this one here. This one allows you to have like a 5% chance to get blighted scouting reports. So like that could allow you to like get a Blight map pretty early. But also like in this current meta or in this current patch, it's pretty frequent that you randomly will find Blight maps in the Kirac mission, in the Kirac map selection screen. So I guess what I'm saying is like if your build requires like a certain anointment, for example, you know, Bone Shatter is a build that really wants to anoint battle trance early on because it's super cheap. It's just sepia, amber, amber, and it's just like a high amount of power for a very cheap cost. And so if you see like a Blight map in your Kirac screen early on, you can just go ahead and do it if there's like a very cheap anointment that would benefit your build. And with all these Kirac mission nodes, it's almost like a surefire thing that you can get some early anointment if you want it. So yeah, that's also another thing to mention. And that's basically it for the main strat. And then the second strat that you might do at least start is basically this one. And this one's very straightforward. The main idea is that you just go for 100% betrayal chance in your maps, and that's it. And the main incentive you have to do this strat is if your build would like largely benefit from early unveils. For example, Righteous Fire really wants to unveil fire.multi and +1 AoE gems. These things give you a lot of power early on. Or like something like Bone Shatter. Bone Shatter is very dependent on like a melee weapon that is good, because the skill will not do that much damage unless you have like a decent weapon. So you really want to like unveil the Betrayal physical mod on your weapons. And so like if your build benefits from Betrayal early in SSF, I would definitely recommend building this tree and just going for like 100% Betrayal chance and taking all these nodes so you can farm Betrayal. And if you do this strat, you will be sacrificing a little bit of Atlas progression speed, but you do gain a lot more character power. And in my opinion, like in SSF at League Start, having character power is more important than like rushing the Atlas super fast, unless you're playing like an overpowered skill like Volcanic Fissure of Snaking, in which case maybe you could not go Betrayal at all. But for most builds, I think early Betrayal is good. And then in this tree, in addition to early Betrayal, you would just take like some random Kirac nodes and some random map drop nodes until you get 50 objectives, after which you probably have all your early unveils, hopefully. And then you can go ahead and unlock your second tree at 50 points and then do the normal Atlas pushing tree. And that's basically what you would do if you do this Betrayal start. I will also note that if you do the Betrayal start, you might just want to like farm lower tier maps for a little while, because early on Betrayal can be pretty difficult, especially if your build is like not that powerful. So it's totally fine to like farm white and yellow maps early on for longer than you normally would, just so you can get a lot of character power. Because like if you go into red maps in SSF with low character power and you die over and over again, that's kind of cringe. But like if you spent more time in white and yellow maps, you farmed really good gear from Betrayal, and then you entered red maps, then it will probably save you a lot of time in the long term. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, that's basically the main 2 strats that you can do in SSF today. Basically just like pushing and then Betrayal. Yeah, I wish there was like more strats, but it really does seem like these 2 are basically just what you would do. There used to be a lot, like some other options as well. Like in the past, people have done like essence starts, where they basically like went into like they just stayed in like low level white maps and just farmed essences for like the whole day. And you could like previously the essence nodes were like a lot better and essence monster power level was like a lot lower. So what people would do is just like take every essence node and farm like white maps, and then at the end of the day they would have like a full tab of essences. And then on day 2 they would just like craft endgame gear and just like play the character from that point onwards. But they did increase essence monster power in some recent patch, and then they also nerfed the essence node. So I would definitely not recommend the essence start these days, but it was a thing that people used to do. So just thought I'd mention that. And then as for the new Atlas nodes that are coming this league, some of them look interesting, but mainly just for late game, I think. So like with regard to like league start trees, I don't think it has that big of an impact. But you guys will have to let me know if you see anything interesting in the patch notes concerning Atlas trees. But my impression was like you might take some of the new things in endgame if you want to, but it doesn't really influence the league start. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. I'll link these 2 trees in the description of the video if you want to check them out. But yeah, that's it. Let me know if you have any like comments, concerns, or whatever. And that's it. I'll see you in the next video.